Hi, Rita ma'am. Hi. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I have made you the co-host. Can we quickly check if you're able to, share the screen and everything is working fine?
Well, unfortunately, my laptop failed to work, so I'm just going to be using my phone. I had prepared uh I had prepared a PowerPoint presentation, but now I
Mm-hmm.
cannot be able to use it.
Okay. And do you have the PowerPoint presentation with you now so that I can at least share the screen and I can help you out in it?
Yeah, it's refusing to connect to the internet, so I can't even send it to
Okay. Can you
myself.
send it to me through my WhatsApp so that I can
I
share?
am telling you, the
Huh.
laptop has refused to connect to the internet.
Oh, okay. So, ma'am, then we can have it as an interactive session only then without PPT. Like how
Let
do
me
you want to do? If
let me
you,
try and
huh,
let me try and show you. Mm. So, I don't
huh,
know why I am trying to connect it to the internet and
okay.
it's refusing.
Do you have a, have it saved anywhere in your laptop so that you can send it to me and like I can share it?
I cannot send it because that laptop cannot connect to the internet.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Okay.
Yes.
Um,
Because I was supposed to use this laptop, this same laptop,
mm-hmm.
so
Got
that I
it. I
can be able to
understood.
share the
Hmm.
screen.
Ha ha ha. I
But
understood.
for some reason it's refusing to connect to the internet. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know why.
Ah, I don't know. Probably you will have to disconnect the internet in your laptop and then reconnect it once again. Then it should be working fine.
I am I think I've tried everything. I still have 2 minutes. Let me try and get maybe it will accept to connect on another network.
Ha ha
So let me ask for this password. Give me a minute.
ha. So, ma'am, I would request you to be here when you are doing the reconnection over there.
Sure, sure. I'm
Yeah.
not going. I'm
Okay.
not.
Thank you. Yeah. Ma'am, is it done?
Not yet. I'm trying to troubleshoot. It's refusing.
Sorry?
I am trying to troubleshoot, but it's refusing.
Ma'am, then in that case, it's okay. Let it be troubleshooting. We can just start the session because it's already 6:30. Once it is ready, you can let me know to which ID I should give you the co-hosting rights so that I can give you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Joshua, you're there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Joshua, yeah, please start now.
Okay, ma'am. A very good evening to everyone present here. I, Olivia Joshua, would like to start this knowledge session on personal branding. Why you need to show up for yourself. Personal branding is about shaping how the world sees you. It's your unique value proposition, a curated online presence that showcases your skills, expertise, and personality. A strong personal brand opens doors to new opportunities, boosts your credibility, and help you stand out in a crowded marketplace. It's an investment in yourself, a way to control your narrative and build a reputation that aligns with your goals. Sense Welfare Foundation, a registered non-profit organization, is dedicated to social impact across various sectors. We focus on education, particularly skill development and entrepreneurship, impacting over 6,000 individuals. We are currently upskilling inmates in Haryana jails and collaborating with universities and colleges. We've also partnered with banks to place over 1,500 candidates in jobs. In just a short time, Sense has established itself as a force for positive charge, equipping individuals with skills for employment and promoting women's leadership in various industries. This session is collaboratively organized by Digi Samaksh. Digi Samaksh is a company that empowers business through data and technology. We offer a wide range of services including IT, software, data science, research, consultancy, data analytics, and marketing. About the speaker, Bulya Rita Mata is a LinkedIn growth expert, personal branding strategist, social media manager, speaker, administrator of the Parliament of Uganda, actress, and athlete. She has worked with hundreds of brands, helping them to get a brand voice, gain visibility and authority, and monetize their brands. Also, the founder of BMAR Agency, an agency helping brands grow and reach their full potential. She loves to inspire others, and as such, she started a series of inspirational people where she shares stories of people who have grown up in our neighborhood and now living inspirational lives. Her favorite quote is Inspiration lives within us.
Ma'am, you can start, ma'am. Like if you can,
If you can what? I can start.
yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I hope we are all doing good. I usually like energy, but I hope I'll get the emoji, the energy with the emojis from that side. Thank you so much, Joshua, for that introduction. Yes, my name is Julia Ritamanda from Uganda. I'm happy to have you all. Today, we are going to be talking about personal branding, why you need to show up for yourself. She has defined personal branding. Everyone defines personal branding in their own way. Um, I define personal branding. Okay, according to Wikipedia, Wikipedia says that personal branding is a strategic process aimed at creating positioning, and maintaining a positive public perception of one itself by leveraging unique individual characteristics and a differentiated narrative to a target audience. That is according to Wikipedia. But according to my point of view, personal branding is about creating a lasting impression and a perception of yourself in people's mind. Give me a second. This is the problem of working from home. Give me a minute. Sorry about that. I just got home and then rushed for this Zoom meeting, and now someone was needing my attention, but I have that figured out. I have that handled. So, according to my point of view, personal branding is about creating a lasting impression and perception of yourself in people's mind, defining and promoting what you stand for as an individual, and it involves create crafting a unique professional identity and consistent narrative that distinguishes you from other people. To better understand personal branding, we can define it as who you are, what you stand for, and what your story is. That is your brand. Who you are, what you stand for, and your story. That is what makes your brand. What you are. Actually, we have a saying these days that you are your niche. What you are, your niche, that is what you can use to build your brand. You don't have to far fetch your brand. You don't have to seek further for a brand. Start by looking at yourself, who you are, what you stand for, what you do, what's your story. That is what you use to build your brand. Are we together? Um, People complicate personal branding. Initially, before the digital space came into place, it was so hard to build a brand. It was so hard because it would require paying a lot of money to advertising agencies and to marketing agencies, and then they do create logos, theme colors, and all these things. But today, personal branding has been simplified by the digital spaces like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So you just have to present yourself. For example, myself, Bulia Rita Matha. Who am I? What do I stand for? What is my story? That is what my personal brand is. And their personal branding involves defining and promoting what you stand for. Remember when I said who you are? Your experiences, your skills, your values, these things, defining them and promoting them. That is where your personal brand is. Because I know everybody is speaking about personal branding, but many people do not understand. That's where the problem is. It gets complicated for some people. They're like, I cannot build my brand. I don't know how to build my brand. How am I going to build my brand? Now, let me make it simple for you. I just told you your personal brand is who you are, what you stand for, and what your story is. Your experiences will form your brand. Your values will form your brand. The skills you have, you can use those to build a brand. Yes, personal branding is a combination of skills and values that make you unique. There's what we call a unique proposition. That is what you use to sell yourself. What makes you unique? What makes you unique to the people out there? Because, for example, let me say there are so many doctors, but why will I choose to go to? You will find, for example, one is a Muslim, another is a Christian, another one is, and then one has in such a thing, and the other one says, well, me, it's okay, I can do such and such a thing. Now, that is where, now those are the things that people will look at and choose X or Y. So it is your values, your skills, your experiences that you can use to build your personal brand. Now, what is a brand? Yes, we talked about personal brand, but now what is a brand? Just a brand, because you're not going to you don't call yourself my personal brand. You call yourself the brand. But now I am not the personal brand, Buliarita Matha, but I am the brand, Buliarita Matha. So what is a brand? A brand is a combination of skills, experiences, values, and qualities an individual projects to distinguish them from others. Are we together? Also, in my point of view, I will also want to add something about personal branding, because I want people to understand personal branding. I have talked to very many people, and they say it is so hard to build a brand. It is so hard to build my personal brand. It is not. The only reason why people think it is hard is because they overcomplicate it. They make it seem like it is they define it so hard. So I prefer changing and I mean making things simpler for people. A personal brand is that perception you create in people's minds, such that every time they think about something in your niche, you're the first person that clicks. That is how you have a strong brand. When you create a strong perception in people's minds, that every time they think about, for example, if someone is going to, from, let's say from today, if someone is going to think about a person to speak about personal branding, I want to create this perception in whoever is listening, in their minds, that every time personal branding clicks, they remember, oh, Buliarita Matha. Every time the word personal branding is talked about, they remember Buliarita Matha. So personal branding. Now I am branding, for example, right now, I am branding myself in your mind, so that anytime a person speaks about, let's say, personal branding, you will remember me. You will say, oh, the right person to consider is Buliarita Matha. The right person to consult about this, because I am a personal branding strategist. I help you, because some people find it hard to align their brand, to choose to align, to align themselves, or to set out their brand out there. So I go on a call with them and we strategize, and I tell them this is where your brand will shine most. Now, I'm trying to create this perception in your mind, so that anytime you think about personal branding, the person you will think about is Buliarita Matha. Now, me aside, let me talk about maybe SEMS. SEMS has to brand themselves in such a way that anytime people think about, oh, empowerment, or whatever SEMS do, let SEMS be the one people will think about. Why? Because they have created a perception in people's mind that anytime they mention anything that SEMS does, they're the first person that clicks. I hope we're together on that. So our topic today is personal branding. Why you need to show up for yourself. Why do you need to show up for yourself? You'll wonder. You'll be like, I'm okay where I am. I'm okay in my comfort zone. I am okay, uh, not known, occupying my space. So why do I need to show up for myself? Um, and then someone will say, is personal branding for me? Is it really for me? Do I need to brand myself? And if so, how do I identify my personal brand? Um, the question is personal branding for me? I answer it with yes. Personal branding is for you. Personal branding is for professionals. Personal branding is for students. Personal branding is for businessmen and women. Personal branding is for job seekers. Personal branding is for everyone. Everyone can build their brand. Everyone can come out and build their brand. As a student, as a professional, as a business person, we can all build our brand. Now, why is branding important? Why do you need to show up for yourself? And my question is, why not? Why shouldn't you show up for yourself? Because if you don't show up for yourself, who will show up for you? Hmm? We are in a world today where the less qualified people are occupying big positions and taking center stages, whereas the the qualified people are left behind there. Do you know why? Because the less qualified people are showing up. They are selling themselves. They probably have their skill level is probably 60%, but there is someone who has 95% and they're not selling themselves. They're not showing up for themselves. And what happens is the one that shows up takes the opportunity. The one, even when it comes to job interviews, actually today, personal branding is also shows very well in job interviews. We all are familiar with the question of tell us about yourself. When they tell you, tell us about yourself, your brand. This is where now you're going to brand yourself in a way that impresses the interviewers so that they will hire you. Not the most qualified person, but you. Okay. Um, So we are in a world whereby the brand that you have is what is going to sell you. So if you do not show up for yourself, who will show up for you? It is every man for themselves. So if you do not come out and show up for yourself, then nobody is going to know you exist. Nobody is going to even, I mean, unless you sell yourself, unless you show up for yourself, I will not know. For example, if I didn't brand myself, if I didn't come out to you or out there in the social medias and sell myself, you wouldn't know. This is me talking to an audience in India. Nobody will know I existed. But because I branded myself, I got spotted out and I got selected to speak to you, my dear people that are listening in. That is the power of branding. That is why you need to show up for yourself. The less experienced and less qualified will show up and occupy your space if you do not show up for yourself. You won't get seen. I'm trying to explain to you why you need to show up. You won't get seen. Nobody will see you. Yes, you're qualified, you have your books, you have experiences, but you're not showing up for yourself. You will not get seen. You'll be ignored. And also you are the only one who knows what you are an expert in. Nobody else knows. Now, unless you show the world your expertise, unless you show the world how experienced you are, unless you show the world how good you are, nobody will know. So, this is why you need to show up for yourself. And the most interesting thing, the digital world has made it so easy for everybody to show up for themselves. LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, all these platforms have made it possible for all of us to show up for themselves. So use it. You don't, if, for example, if you're a business person, you just have to build your brand online. Show up and show up so shamelessly that the world will get to know you and buy your product. You may not have to pay for advertisements. You may not have to personal branding makes it easy for the world to see you without paying for advertisements and all those things that before the digital space came we would pay for. You just have to show up, let's say, know where your target audience is and show up on that space. And what happens next? The world gets to know you. The world comes to you for your services, for your products, or whatever you do. Teachers, you can brand yourself as a teacher. There are people I am seeing, they're teachers. They're coming out as teachers. And what happens is they are not selling themselves as teachers, but as consultants or tutors, because there are very many people out there who want tutors, who want to homeschool their children, who want to and this is where now if you sell yourself online, these people are not going to look further. They will just come to your page and request for your services. This is why you need to show up. Your brand sells you, your brand works for you, your brand markets you where you are not. So do not ask, why do I need to show up? Why do I need to show up? I am shy. I mean, I stammer. I'm not beautiful. I don't have a nice body. Excuse me, personal branding. You can brand yourself because this is you behind the screen. People don't see you. You just have to use your content creation. You just have to be so good at content creation that you write that content that is value packed, that it makes people attracted to you and come to you, regardless of your disabilities, deformities, and weaknesses. Your brand, what you speak with your words, with your content that you create, with what you put out there, that is what will attract people to you. Now, you have to be very careful because it is one thing to attract leads and people come to you and then you disappoint them with the way you will present yourself or the way you will handle the work they give to you. So be careful not to break your brand by messing up through small things. Okay. So again, I ask, why is branding important? Why is branding important? That was me explaining to you why you need to show up for yourself. But now, why is branding important? One, it opens up new opportunities. The more you brand yourself, the more opportunities you come. I just gave you an example of myself. This is me down in Uganda, East Africa, smaller Africa, Africa, a small country, Uganda, and I'm speaking to an audience in India. I've always loved Indians, by the way. Interesting. So this is me now speaking to an audience in India. Why? How? Because I branded myself. The world got to know me. This is now me speaking to India. I have spoken to audiences in South Africa. I have been invited to go to Kenya, to go to different places, to speak, to teach, I have clients from the US, from the UK, from different parts of the world. The clients that I help with their strategizing for them, for their personal brands. But how did those opportunities come to me? Because let me use the word we usually use. I put my head out, I put my head up so that people see me and now the opportunities come to me. That is one importance of branding. And then branding helps you build trust with your audience. How do you build trust? When I brand, I build trust. Yes, trust and credibility through the content you write. People resonate with your content. You write content that probably solves people's problems because when you're finding your niche, you have to find a niche in something that you know you're very sure of. So it is probably something you have gone through yourself. And there are people out there that are also going through the same thing. So you brand yourself as the solver, the problem solver for that problem. And then you start creating content around how to solve that problem. What happens is you build trust, you build credibility from the audience, from the people that read your content, that see your content, that hear from you, you gain trust. And then your brand represents you and conveys who you are. Remember, I told you your personal brand is who you are, what you stand for, and your story. So now your brand is representing you. And then it is conveying to the world because we share our personal stories sometimes in the process of building the brand and sharing content. We share our personal stories, and then people get to know us. They say, "Oh, okay, so I thought I'm the only one going through this." That means other people out there experience this. So it means other people go through this and this. And so your brand will represent you and convey you and will connect you to people. People begin seeing themselves in you because you go through what they go through, you experience what they experience. Sometimes I post about my free time, social time, and then someone will know, oh, so okay, for example, working remote doesn't mean just work. You can also have some me time and free time. Oh, okay. So sometimes I post about my family, and then someone will know, oh, okay, so it means I can build a brand and still keep my family. I thought if I build my brand, I don't have to have a family. These things, by building a brand, it represents you, it conveys who you are to the world. And then personal branding promotes you, or branding promotes you and your business. Because as I'm putting out content out there, for example, I just mentioned to you that I'm a personal branding strategist. Now, even as I'm putting out content, I make sure I sell myself. I add it there that I will help you to do X, Y, and Z. So what this does is I am promoting myself and my business. In the process of building my brand, it's not just about content, sharing about solving problems, but I'm also telling you somewhere, somehow, that this is what I do. Employ me, give me work. Uh, um, I will help you promote your business. And then it keeps you engaged. Personal branding helps keep your customers engaged because they get to see you. And is something wrong? Hello? Are we together? Is something wrong? Is everything okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, everything
Yes,
is.
ma'am.
Okay, I thought maybe there is a problem with the network. And are you hearing me? Everything I'm saying, are you hearing me? Is the
Yes, yes.
okay, perfect. Okay. So personal branding helps to keep your customers engaged. As you're branding yourself, your clients, your audience, your customers are engaged with your content. They get to ask you questions. You answer them through the comments on your post, through the content you give them to contact you. So it keeps your customers engaged, and then it helps you capture attention and attract new customers. Also, branding elevates your products. And above all, branding helps increase visibility. Visibility is how many people get to see you or know you. I just told you myself how here I am in Uganda and then I'm speaking to people in India. Why? My visibility was increased because I branded myself. So I want to help someone who hasn't started building the brand. What are some of the best practices for building a strong brand? What are some of those practices, those things that you will do to be able to stand out? Because I know some people have started on building their personal brand, but there are those that are still shy. There are those that are still scared. There are those that haven't started. And then there are those that have started, but they don't know how to go about it. So, what are those practices that you can do to help you? One of them is to be you, be yourself. Do not try to pretend. Do not try to be someone you're not. We call it our authenticity. Be authentic. Be your authentic self. Do not pretend. Don't lie. I have seen so many people come on LinkedIn where I am mostly, though I'm on all other platforms, but most of my time is on LinkedIn. And someone will come and lie to you about, I made this deal and this deal, I did this and this, only to realize later it was a lie, because lies will always catch up on you. And that breaks trust. That breaks the credibility you have built. That breaks your audience. You see a person that was an account that was growing, and then all of a sudden it's crashing. Why? Because you were not yourself. You lied. You pretended. You were showing something you're not. So try and be you. Sell you. Your brand is you, who you are, and your story, not somebody's story, not a Lakshmi's story, not anybody's story, but you who is listening, your story. That is what you should front. Because actually, there is this thing that we fear. I am not the best. I cannot sell myself. But remember, there is only you. There cannot always be only one you. So your unique self should be allowed to show and be seen. And then be passionate. Be passionate about what you do. Even if you put your content on TikTok and nobody watches it for like a whole month, be passionate and keep doing, keep showing up. Don't just show up, but also strive to make an impact. That is how people will resonate with your brand. If you give up so easily, you will not know what is on the other side of things. But up, don't just show up, but strive to make an impact, and then be consistent. Don't show up today and then disappear and think magic will happen, and then show up and then disappear and think magic will happen. No, be consistent, show up. And also, be sure to, when I also say consistency, is be consistent in your brand. Don't sell yourself today as a personal branding strategist and then tomorrow come and say I'm a doctor. You can try to merge these things so that they will not confuse your audience, that they know who you are in exactly that. Do not confuse your audience. Be consistent in just that and keep on showing up regardless. The results in the end always show off. Share your journey. You can share your journey with your audience. These are practices that people will relate to you. People will connect with you. People will align with you. Why? Whenever you share your journey, be careful not to overshare, because the problem is people overshare and in the end it backfires on them. For example, they will overshare, they share about everywhere they go. Now, if somebody wants to hurt you, they will follow you and then they will hurt you. No, share, but be careful how you share, that it will not affect you as a person. And then offer value. If you're a doctor, brand yourself as a consultant in medicine, for example. Sell yourself in such a way that anybody who has a question, they will come to you. They will, a medical issue, they will come to you. Not to the doctor next door, not to the other, but to you. Why? Brand yourself in such a way that you are the first go-to person. Remember when I said that personal branding is the perception you create in people's mind? So create this perception that I am the best doctor. So if anybody has a problem, they will come to you. And how are you going to do that? By offering value. By offering value, the content you write should be offering, for example, solutions to health issues that people are going through, so that they know that, oh, he is well known, knowledgeable, he knows so many things, he's a person I can rely on, this doctor is a person I can go to, this doctor is the go-to person. Offer value and it will help you to build a strong brand. And then communication, be when people give you feedback and tell you something that is negative, do not backlash. Think about it. Why did they tell me that? What do I need to solve? How do I need to make myself better? How do I need to build my brand better? Don't backlash. Who are you to tell me? I have PhD. How dare you talk to me? I remember there's a client I was working for, a PhD engineering. She had a PhD in engineering. This particular one, I was helping her create content, but sometimes she came out and sold herself in such a way that she showed every part of her. Now, what this made, people related to her. Of course, I advise her to do that. People related to her that even a person of a PhD has this and this weakness, or they can also fail sometime, or they also have challenges. Okay. And many people started following her because they saw themselves in her. They saw that they could also study and get that high, even with a hard background, because she shared her story about her background. But she studied this far and then got a PhD in telecommunication engineering and got a very big job in an international firm. I don't want to disclose that because I don't usually say my clients, but it is very important to offer value and then to communicate to your audience. And when they give you negative feedback, don't fight it. Don't, pick from what they say, correct those mistakes, or correct whatever they are telling you, and then people will relate with you and they will recommend you. The next thing, they were calling her to speak at events, they were calling her to train people. We were able to build that brand, but it was through our communication, telling people this and that about her, and it sold her out there. And then, as you build your brand, embrace all the world. AI is becoming something that we cannot run away from, in doing so many things, managing tasks, making videos, doing this and that. AI has become a very good companion. So embrace AI. I am one of the person, I usually call it Al, I don't know why. it's AI. I'm one of the person that took long to embrace AI. I didn't like it. I would see generic contents that I mean I would see comments that were created through AI, and I hated it. I was like, it makes people it makes people lazy. They don't think. But you have to be careful as you embrace it in the right way so that it doesn't cripple your thinking or your mind or your creativity. Okay. I also want now to talk about steps for creating a personal brand, just in case someone there hasn't started building their brand. What steps can they take to build their brand? One, you have to define who you are and your unique qualities. And these are skills, personalities, strength, values, because these are the ones you're going to use to build your brand. You don't have to copy someone because you have seen a celebrity. There's a guy that I usually like using, who is at least international. The guy is called Kabilem. Kabilem was a shy guy, and he wasn't so good at, okay, he speaks well, but he was a shy guy. So what he did is he branded himself as a person that makes skits. He does not speak, he just makes skits. He shows you that the white people complicate this, but you can do it in such a way, very easy. He sold himself in that. He used what he had, his shyness, because his shyness is, I fear to speak in people. So what he did was make skits when he's not talking. He branded himself. Now he's one of the biggest paid personalities that came through personal branding and social media. So um, so define who you are and your unique qualities. These are the ones that are going to help you to build your brand. And then define and understand your target audience. The next step is to know, okay, this is who I am, these are my qualities, this is what I can do. Now my audience is so and so. Who they are, where they are located, who would appreciate the image you want to portray. Take time and define these people. Try and understand who your target audience is going to be. And then define your core values. What do you stand for? As you build your brand, you have to define your core values and have limits. Tell yourself, this I cannot do. For example, you have built a brand, you're international. You can say, this particular, maybe you're branding yourself. Let me use an actor, an actress. You brand yourself and say, this part, this role, I am too religious. My religion or my culture or my tradition will not let me do this part. My brand will not align with anything outside that. What are your core values? What do you stand for? And then choose relevant platforms and create online presence. Having known where your audience is, create having known where your audience is, create an online presence there. As a doctor, you might want to brand yourself, let's say on LinkedIn and TikTok, showing people, making those short videos showing yourself maybe handling a particular patient, or how you handle your patient, or find where your audience is and create a presence there. And then create content. You're not going to just open a page and stop there. You create content that is niche best, and be sure to be consistent as you create that content. And then engage with your audience. Support their content as they support you back. Comment, play chat with them, create a relationship that's outside, that goes beyond, let's say, LinkedIn, that goes beyond TikTok, so that these people find it easy to recommend you if an opportunity comes. And then monitor and adapt as you're building. Keep monitoring and adapting, changing, restructuring. What is not working, you change. What works, you continue with that. Keep monitoring, analyzing, and see how your brand goes. In conclusion, in today's economy, building a personal brand isn't just a necessity. People are still ignoring the power of personal branding. It's no longer just a necessity or for celebrities or for a particular type of people. It is for everyone. It is a must. Now, whether you're a career person or just starting out, having a personal brand that defines who you are or what you bring to the table propels you forward. Always remember that most always remember that the most important thing when developing your personal brand is to be your authentic self. Be you. Don't pretend to be who you're not. Be you. Don't be afraid to highlight your accomplishments, because this gives you actually more credibility to your audience and what makes you unique. Do not be afraid to highlight those things. Also, note that you can always adjust your brand to match changes in your career or life. It is always okay to adjust a little. If you realize this is what I was doing, it is okay to adjust a little, um, so that it is okay to adjust. And as you grow, make sure to revisit and nurture your personal brand so that your brand stays authentic through change. Stay connected to people by sharing your story. Your story is your power. That is what now sells you to the world. Actually, when you're creating content, use storytelling. It is very powerful. Let your brand shine and stand as the best. With those few words, I thank you for listening to me. Thank you so much.
On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to sincerely thank Bulya Rita Mata, our outstanding speaker today. We had the chance to hear a fascinating and thought provoking conversation about personal branding, why you need to show up for yourself today. Through her remarkable ability to convey information, Pulya Rita Mata left us with insightful discoveries and motivational concepts. Her engaging lecture enthralled us and motivated us to study more. We appreciate the effort and time they put into organizing this educational program. Key takeaways: personal branding is a strategic process aimed at creating, positioning, and maintaining a positive public perception of oneself. Personal branding is about creating a lasting impression. Personal branding is about who am I, what do I stand for, and what makes you different to the people out there. Everyone can come out and build their own brand. We should learn to show up for ourselves. Personal branding would make it easier for the world to know you. Branding helps you build trust and credibility with your audience. Be consistent in your brand. Embrace AI as it has become a very close companion.
Hi, good evening, everybody. The feedback link is put in the chat box. Please fill it and let us know your feedback.
So, so can I know if you people have any questions to be asked? Any questions from the audience side? Okay, so Okay, so finally, to add beauty and memorability to our session, I encourage everyone to turn on their cameras and shout cheese so that we may take a quick picture. And as a reminder, please turn on your camera. Okay, thank you once more for participating in today's knowledge session. You can reach us by phone or email if you have any questions, and we are also very happy to provide you further assistance. Don't forget to join us on our next workshop and knowledge session, which is on the topic Mastering Accounting and GST in Tally ERP 9, which is tomorrow, the Jan 23rd at 4 p.m. So this is a workshop. And coming to the knowledge session, which would be a characteristics of numbers and meaning of 8 yogas in numerology, which is a knowledge session, which would be at 7:15 tomorrow. So um, I Lakshmi would like to sign off with this cheerful note and have a wonderful day. So, I would also request the participants present here to please fill in the feedback form which is dropped in the chat box. And the form would be closed within 5 to 6 hours from now.